Hey guys, Ryan the Movie Guy Diamond here. Today's topic I just want to talk to you guys about um, basically just, film writers, producers, and just all kinds of these sequels and just everything else. Kind of what's wrong with today's movies and all that, the pros and cons, and just that type of stuff. Basically, growing up, I was always kind of a big movie buff, and well, okay, I guess not a huge movie buff, but from the time I was little to where I am now, I've always had a huge passion for movies. Um, Growing up, mom and dad would always take me to the theater, everything else. I go to Blockbuster back when it was still around, and I would go to, I would do that type of stuff, and I really gained a thing for movies, and just the excitement, just everything, and during the past couple of years, a lot of the movies that I saw that at my age I didn't quite understand as to like looking back on old movies now from back in the early 2000, like those movies I would understand, but um, over time, I've kind of really learned the ins and outs of a movie. I really kind of learned. A lot of that type of stuff. What a lot of these film writers are missing, what a lot of these producers are missing, that type of stuff. And with that being said, first off, let's talk about sequels. Now, with sequels here, they're a lot lately. I've noticed within the past couple of years, they've been uh, making many sequels. Like for example, off the top of my head, you got like this coming year in 2016. I want to say it's around like summer. Could be wrong, but they're coming out with Zoolander 2. You've got these other sequels coming out right along. Those two movies look like they're good. I think Hollywood is really not just Hollywood, but I think also a lot of these film writers are missing the mark on like a lot of stuff. Like for example, with um, a lot of these sequels they're making, they're not really thinking. I think they're just rehashing a lot of the same stuff that they did before, back not just in the early 2000s, but a lot of these classics they're bringing back and kind of doing, I guess you would want to say, touch-ups. They're kind of just rehashing the same old thing, and they're not thinking about they're not really thinking about today's generation of what people want to see as to what people have already seen. And really, with that, I think a lot of these sequels they're good. A lot of these sequels they are good, and a lot of them are worth seeing again. However, I don't think a lot of these sequels are worth bringing back, and a lot of them should just be left alone within the movie series. And I think a lot of them that are bad that just keep coming out. I think it's a horrible idea. I think a lot of the sequels that come out, they could do so much better on a money budget, and that type of stuff. But really, what I don't think a lot of these producers and film writers really think about too much is the fact that they like here in my mind. Here's what I think. For me personally, a movie has to. This is how good a movie has to be for me. It has to capture my attention for one thing. Two, it has to have a really good plot line. Three, it has to have really good actors and actresses. Four, I would have to say the trailer has to be really good. In my mind, it has to be a really good trailer. Five, I, I think just those four really. I can't really think of a fifth one, but just those top four there, they really have to be good in order for me to want to go see whatever movie is being released, whether that being a sequel, a reboot, a remake, whichever. And I think a lot of these film writers, like in my eyes, here's the way I see it is they don't think about, when they're, even, for example, rehashing the same old stuff. They're thinking about, like, the way I see it is they're slapping a lot of these films together, like a lot of these stupid movies nowadays coming out. Trying to think of a recent stupid movie I saw. Can't remember exactly the last one I really saw that I really didn't like. But in my mind, putting together movies like that is basically, to me, that's kind of just saying, okay, you know what? They wrote something down, boom, they're slapping it together. We got a cast, we got a crew, all that. Let's just make this movie. Let's get a couple $100 and let's just call it a day. To me, I don't think that's putting a lot of time and energy into a movie. I don't think that's really worth. Uh, I I don't know exactly how much to go into details about like what that's um, exactly like, but I just don't think they're really missing the mark on this. And a lot of these producers, they don't really think about, what today's generation is like. They don't think about um, that type of stuff. They just over and over again rehashing and rehashing and rehashing. Um, I think there could be a lot more better movies out, and I think they could. A lot of these film writers could really be making a lot more money. Not to mention they could have a lot more audiences. However, like for example, um, I think it's good in a way, but at the same time it's bad. I'll give you an example. The new release that just came out, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. With that, basically, I think it's now I've heard good things about Star Wars, and I think I am gonna go see it actually. I used to personally be a bit of a Star Wars fan when I was in I think through my elementary years, middle school years, and at that point it was one of those things. It was more along the lines of a phase for me. I still like it, but it just nowadays it's just like it's a good movie. Um, I think that it's good that they brought it back, but and I mean here's what I thought. Like with Disney owning George Lucas's film of the Star Wars franchise, um, I thought Disney was really really gonna mess this film up. But I saw the trailer and it looked like they did pretty good. So I'm very shocked, and I really think that I mean the other thing too is the fact that I think it's been 32 years exactly since Return of the Jedi, which was released back in 1983 by George Lucas, and I think it's good that they brought this back, but at the same time, how do I want to say it exactly? I I mean it looks good, but what I don't like is the fact that they're kind of bringing that type of stuff back, and it's just I mean it's good, but like I said, it's not good. And I don't know exactly how much more to go into detail with that. However, I am gonna go and try to see this film. It looks good. It looks very promising. I hear it's very predictable. It's a very predictable film of both when you had A New Hope, uh, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. So I hear this movie is very predictable, but I'm still gonna maybe try and watch it. Um, I think in many ways it's probably good that they brought this back, but at the same time it's I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it. But really, I feel that, and not just with a lot of these filmmakers. Think about it, guys. Movie theaters today. I think they're really losing a lot of businesses with, like, for example, I've had bad experiences in theaters, and they didn't even have like they didn't really, they weren't too enthusiastic about promoting the for the customers to be able to go see the movie that they were going to see, and they weren't. There was no enthusiasm about it. There was just none of that. And personally, growing up, I was always used to cardboard cutouts, poster boards, that type of stuff. That's just how I am personally. It's just that really gets me pumped up about going to see a movie. And I think a lot of the promoting in a lot of movie theaters, business-wise, that's really lacking. And I think if movie theaters keep going the way that they're going with things, I think you're gonna see a lot of things start to shift, and a lot of these movie theaters start to go out of business eventually. I'll give them personally. I predict within the next couple of years, like with a lot of stuff going online, I think within the next couple of years, I mean, movie theaters have a long time to be around, but I personally think that movie theaters eventually you're going to kind of see them shift away as a lot of this other stuff comes online, and that type of stuff. So I highly doubt movie theaters they're going to be practically, I'd say maybe another Blockbuster. Same with Redbox too. Redbox I believe is going to go out of business as well, and I believe that because everything's online now, and really, I mean, because think about it, I mean, Blockbuster had trouble competing with Redbox when it first came out. That's when we were getting into, you could go to Turkey Hill, for example, and get your movie, reserve it or something like that. Now as blockbusters go on, Redbox, with everything online, I kind of think that Redbox is going to be another blockbuster and that type of stuff. That's going to kind of be a come and go as we see the years go by. But really, just I think a lot of these producers and film writers are not really thinking as to a lot of the movies they could be having for today's generation. They're not really thinking as to how to grasp attention quite as much. Now, there's been a few movies within the past year that have been really good, that I've really found to be really good. Others that I've been kind of on the fence about, like, that could have been better, that type of stuff. I'm actually um, hoping to go into the film industry myself here in a few years and start making films and all that type of stuff. So I mean that's probably another reason I kind of wanted to get this out, is because I really think that a lot of these movies could be better. I think that a lot of these I don't know, these are my personal thoughts. I don't know what you guys think. Um, so really that's all I just want to talk about with you guys. Nothing more. Um, so until then, hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Go see it. If I were to recommend a movie that I recently went to see, go see Krampus. It looked really good. The trailer looked good. I went to go see it. It was really good. Comment down below. Place a like on this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe for more content. If you guys want, my movie guy Facebook link is in the description below, and I will see you guys soon. So, see you guys. Bye.